Across the void, a silent armada drifted into human space. Their ships were nightmares of living metal, war machines that had crushed every world in their path. Earth's defenses trembled but refused to break. In the final hour, humanity would rise not as prey, but as hunters born of desperation and hope. The observation deck trembled under the whisper of ion thrusters. Commander Aaron Kwan pressed her palm to the cold viewport and watched the alien fleet emerge from the dark. Each vessel gleamed like a black reef against the stars, endless columns of living metal, biolattices curling around weapons arrays. The scent of recycled air mingled with the electric taste of fear, but her spine straightened at the sight. "Admiral," she spoke into the comlink, voice steady, "estimate their numbers." A pause crackled before Admiral Hale's answer came, measured. "Hundreds of ships, battle spines bristling, they block out entire sectors of sky." She closed her eyes, heart hammering like a war drum. In that instant she felt every sacrifice humanity had made. The burned-out cities, the orphaned children, the last defenses crumbling on every colony. And yet hope flared. "Then we light the dark," she replied. Around her, crew members moved like constellations falling into formation. Flickers of blue hollow flare maps painted their faces in strobing light. Engineers in utility vests raced past, hauling plasma conduits and calibration tools. The low hum of fusion cores and distant comm echoes wrapped the deck in kinetic tension. Beyond the glass, the alien armada hovered, a living tide eager to drown the human race. But as the sun peeked over the planet's limb, its rays glinted off Earth's defensive grid, promising resistance. Aaron's jaw set. "Open fire," she ordered. "Show them why we refuse to fade." On the ground, the city lay in shards. Charred towers tilted like broken teeth against a copper sky. Smoke curled through every street, mixing with the scent of scorched concrete and fear. People stumbled through the rubble, clutching children to their chests. Their eyes were red rims of grief, but their feet moved forward. Sergeant Lucia Ramos guided a group through a collapsed overpass. A boy no older than 10 touched her helmet, voice trembling. "Will we—" "Keep moving," she interrupted softly, checking her pulse rifle. Each breath tasted of ash and resolve. They reached a line of makeshift barricades. Soldiers in battered armor arranged railguns and energy turrets. Lucia watched engineers align a repurposed rail cannon toward the sky. Sparks danced along its barrel, a promise of retaliation. Beside her, Private Moreno whispered, "I lost my sister down that street." He pointed where a half-collapsed plaza once thrived with markets. Moreno blinked, voice tight. "If we can hold them here, maybe more can escape." Lucia nodded, grief morphing into purpose. "Then we hold." A distant boom shook the ground as the first blast from orbit scorched the alien vanguard. Light ripped through dust clouds, silhouettes of ships dissolving like moths in flame. The barricade crew cheered, voices hoarse. Mothers pressed infants to their chests, terror-colored blankets wrapped tight. In that moment, rage and sorrow forged a single blade. As alien raids darkened the horizon again, humanity braced itself beneath battered shields. The smell of ozone mingled with hope. The shattered Earth would answer every strike. High above the planet, inside the steel lungs of the Resistance flagship Aurora, Dr. Celine Voss adjusted a series of crystalline resonators. Each prism pulsed with an inner light, cyan ribbons of energy weaving between them. Around her, officers hovered, eyes flicking to star maps that painted the alien fleet as a dark vortex creeping toward them. Captain Omar Reyes stood at her shoulder, voice low. "Doctor, if this fails—" She met his gaze, steady despite exhaustion. "It won't. The resonance field can neutralize their bioplating, with a spark that cracks their armor." He swallowed. "Then we ignite." The chamber hummed with a mechanical heartbeat. Every technician held their breath as Voss placed the final prism into a magnetic coil. Sparks blossomed like neon flowers. Console lights danced in staccato rhythm. Beyond the reinforced viewport, Earth glowed soft and pale. In the distance, alien vessels coalesced, vast crucibles of living metal. The resonance weapon was humanity's last gamble. A cascade of vibrational frequencies unleashed at precise harmonics, designed to resonate through alien hulls and disrupt their integrated biology. Voss tapped her comm. All systems green. Initiating Phase 1. A low-frequency pulse thrummed through the ship. Instruments wavered. The prism's glow intensified until the core burst with incandescent energy. Crew members shielded their eyes as a ribbon of blue-white light arced toward a distant target. Everyone felt the hum in their veins. Captain Reyes exhaled, voice a whisper. May the ancients grant us luck. In the hushed suspense that followed, Aurora's crew waited on the knife edge between victory and oblivion. A thunderclap of light tore across space. The resonance wave struck the leading alien squadrons like a celestial hammer. Ships ruptured from within, biohulls split like overripe fruit, cascading fragments into the void. Every deck of Aurora vibrated with triumph. Lieutenant Haldor activated the third battery, voice hoarse. They're breaking, full salvo. Human frigates surged forward, plasma bolts slashing at exposed cores. Pilots whooped behind comm screens, fists raised. In the wreckage field, shards of enemy vessels drifted like fallen stars. But the victory tremor rattled quickly into alarm. The destroyed ships spat corrosive acid into open space, and damaged hulls reformed, adapting to the resonance frequencies. The survivors reconfigured their lattice, plugging the harmonics Voss had exploited. A flicker of dread coursed through the bridge when the alien fleet's edge coalesced around an unscathed battleship. Captain Reyes barked. They're countering the resonance array. New frequency detected. Engineers scrambled to remap the emitter. Sparks flew. Alarms sounded, not of panic, but concentrated intensity. Every crew member understood. This war would demand more than gadgets. It would demand humanity's indomitable will. Below, on shattered Earth, the ground shuddered as residual shockwaves from the orbital blast rippled through the atmosphere. Soldiers threw themselves behind battered barricades, faces illuminated by distant flickers. Civilians stared skyward, hope warring with fear. In the darkness between blasts, the alien fleet reformed into a living crescent, its massive prow aimed like a spear at humanity's heart. The first strike had wounded them, but not killed them. And now, the real battle began. From a makeshift command node buried beneath New Terra's crust, CyberOps specialist Asha Kuri tapped furiously at her console. Her eyes glowed from screens alive with cascading code, streams of alien glyphs and numeric sequences. Around her, a team of young prodigies whispered in clipped tones. "We're in," Asha announced. They never saw our worm coming. As the alien network's defenses collapsed, entire squadrons lost coordination. The living metal of enemy vessels tried to adapt but found its neural links severed. Fragments of alien messages flickered. Commands to retreat, orders to self-destruct, cries of confusion. Above-ground sirens roared as batteries pivoted to new targets. Wattage surged through repurposed cannons, painting the sky with threads of emerald and violet fire. Soldiers pressed against the grid's walls, fists clenched around rifles. Each shot landed with rock-solid impact, perfectly timed, thanks to Asha's breach. Inside the alien command ship Ixius Prime, alarms screamed in an inhuman tongue. Bioluminescent conduits pulsed erratically. Officers, creatures of sinew and steel, fought to reassert control, only to find their systems flooded with alien symphonies of human virus code. In the chaos, Aurora's strike teams leapt into action. Boarding pods jettisoned toward crippled warships. Marines in adaptive armor dropped onto living decks, exhaling breath clouds in recycled air. Their boots clanked against organic plating, weapons raised. "Clear the port," Corporal Mendez radioed. "Harvest anything useful." Bodies entwined with machinery hissed as human hands ripped out data cores. Each tier of cable was a victory chant. each salvaged component a testament to unbreakable ingenuity. By the time the alien crescent faltered, humanity's renewed fury had lit the sky. The tide was turning. Deep within the alien mothership Leviathan, the corridors felt alive, arteries of living tissue pulsing with every heartbeat. It smelled of copper and antiseptic, a metallic tang that set teeth on edge. Sergeant Nix Callahan crouched behind a rib-like support, breath shallow. She tightened her grip on the quantum implosion device strapped to her back. "Everyone ready?" she whispered. Around her, 4 operatives nodded, eyes steeled by countless nightmares. The Nexus chamber lay ahead, a vaulted space of bioluminescent arches and thrumming energy veins. At its center hovered a sphere of swirling light, the ship's living core. Disrupt it, and the whole vessel would tear itself apart. They breached the outer membrane in silence, cutting through soft bioplating that parted like flesh. A low hum greeted them. Each step echoed against living walls that flexed as if sensing their presence. Corporal UN placed the charge at the sphere's base. Cables splayed across luminous tendrils. He tapped the interface. "Set for 3 minutes." Nix closed her eyes for a heartbeat, whispered into the comm. "This is for every world they extinguished." Behind them, a squad of alien guardians burst into the chamber, tall creatures of bone and chrome, dripping with corrosive ichor. Lasers flared. Nix returned fire, arms steady, every shot exact. Asha's hacking signal flickered on their HUD, moments from scrambling the biological defenses. As the countdown ticked, the chamber fractured around them. Energy vines snapped. Guards fell in glowing arcs. With one final push, Nix and her team staggered back into the corridor. 2, 1. The core detonated in a silence before sound, a blinding pulse that radiated through living metal and flesh. Corridors twisted, arches buckled, then the mothership convulsed into ruin. Waves of implosion rolled outward, tearing it from hull to membrane. Outside, the sky bloomed in silent light. Humanity watched as their final gambit consumed the enemy's heart. When the dust settled, only echoes remained, the fractured husks of alien cruisers drifting like fallen titans. Humans stood on ruined ground, lungs brimming with fresh air, hearts unbeaten by despair. They had been the underdogs, the hunted, yet they endured. In that moment, every whispered legend of human tenacity became truth. They came not to surrender, but to remind the stars who lit the fire first.